Hello everyone. Today in this lecture we are going to study the working principle of AC generator. To realize AC generator, I have a galvanometer to show the presence of current. I have made a copper coil. So the ends of the wire, these are kept as to make the axis of this coil. So I have two safety pins and two neodymium magnets. So let us try. So what I do is this safety pin, let us make it as a terminal loop. So this way. Now I am going to put my coil between this like this. So this coil is free to rotate now. Okay. Now I am placing one magnet under it. Now if I rotate this coil, you will see the deflection in the galvanometer. See again. So I will see this. The galvanometer needle, now see the coil, it rotates, see the needle. So it moves along positive and negative direction alternatively. Now I am going to place another magnet over the first one. Okay. So we need to see the deflection in the galvanometer. The current through the coil is increased. See. So this is the basic principle of a AC generator. So see the needle of the galvanometer. Here you can see the same coil which I have named PQRS. The P and points are facing towards you and Q and R points are facing backwards. And also I have placed two magnets with their unlike poles facing each other, so to have a continuous uniform magnetic field, which I have shown here with this B arrow facing upwards. Let us consider the first case when the orientation of the coil is horizontal, but the area vector of the coil and magnetic field both are at 0 degree with each other. Mind it, we are to calculate rate of change of magnetic flux, and magnetic flux is the dot product of magnetic field and the area vector. So at every point we are to concentrate on the orientation of area vector as well as magnetic field vector. So at this case, as you can see, the magnetic lines of force are crossing most of the area of the coil to upward direction, as the vectors are also showing, but the area vector and magnetic field vector, they are making 0-degree angle with each other. So in this case, the rate of change of magnetic flux will be minimum, because you see, when I rotate this coil just like this, the area through which the magnetic field lines are crossing is changing very little. So while in the case when we will see the second position here, in this case area vector and the magnetic field vector, they are now at 90-degree each other. As you see, the magnetic field lines towards upside through the coil are minimum. The number of magnetic field lines are crossing minimum, but when you rotate the coil a little further, the area increases. So the rate of change of field lines which are crossing, that will be maximum at this position when the coil rotates from first position to second position. The PQ side of the coil comes at top. Now as the coil is rotated further, the PQ side comes down at this point. Again, the area vector and magnetic field vector, they are at 180-degree to each other, and most of the field lines cross the area of the coil, but the rate of change of magnetic flux is minimum at this position, as most of the lines are crossing without changing any appreciable number of field lines. सो फील्ड लाइंस यहाँ पे बहुत कम चेंज हो रही हैं, सो इसलिए यहाँ मैग्नेटिक फ्लक्स का जो चेंज है वो मिनिमम होगा. तो इस पोजीशन पे भी हमारे पास मिनिमम फ्लक्स चेंज होगी, और लाइकवाइज वी विल गेट minimum induced EMF. So now coming to the third position here, next position, so again the area vector is at 90 degree with the magnetic field, and most of the field lines are being cut. So field की यहाँ cutting हो गई है पूरी, so इसलिए the rate of change of magnetic flux will be maximum at this position again, and we will get a large amount of induced EMF over here. Now again at the final position, when the coil rotates its one cycle completely, then we are seeing that again area vector and the magnetic field vector both are now at 0 degree with each other, and the rate of change of magnetic flux at this position is minimum, so likewise we will get minimum induced EMF over here. So while the coil completes its one rotation, as you see here, so a complete rotation of positive maximum and negative maxima in induced EMF comes. So as you can see towards the top left corner of your screen is the needle of the galvanometer. You can see it oscillating at its mean position. AC generator. So it is a device which converts mechanical energy to electrical energy. So by moving the coil, what happens is change of magnetic flux takes place. So with the magnetic flux changing, we get induced EMF produced in the coil. So as the deflection in the galvanometer we have seen. The principle of the generator becomes whenever magnetic flux is changed through a coil induced EMF is produced. So now coming to the construction. So it consists of two strong magnets armature coil which we have named it as PQRS. Slip rings on which the axis of the coil rotates, carbon brushes, and of course a handle to rotate the coil, handle or any mechanical force from where we are giving the mechanical energy. Handle. Now coming to the working and theory of the AC generator. Seen in the demonstration, we have a magnet placed downwards whose north pole and south pole are as like this, and there is another magnet whose south pole is downwards and north pole is upwards. So here we have the coil which is placed in between, around which the coil rotates. So this is our point P. So this was Q, this was R, and this was S, and we were seeing the coil from this side. Okay, now the first position refers when the area of the coil and the magnetic field was always perpendicular upwards. The area of coil in this case was upwards. If the area is upwards and the magnetic field is also upwards, so this forms the magnetic flux as BA cos theta, as the magnetic flux is B dot A. So as theta is the angular displacement, so we can write it as BA cos omega t. Now first consider that how we can write here omega t in the place of theta. Now as you see, if anything rotates in a circle, suppose that here is a ball which is rotating in a circle and it is traversing an angle theta. So theta is the angular displacement. So the angular displacement is theta, angular velocity is omega, and t is the time. So angular velocity omega is angular displacement upon time. So from here we can write theta as omega times t. As we rotate the coil like this, the P and Q side comes at the top and the SR side becomes downwards. So what happens is, as the area vector rotates, so A cos omega t changes, while magnetic field remains fixed towards upsides. So if A changes, then what will happen? Let us calculate d upon dt of phi. So it will be d upon dt of B A cos omega t, which will in turn will be equal to, as the magnetic field is constant, so it will come out of the derivative. So we are left with A cos omega t. So area, the magnitude of the area does not change. So therefore A comes out, dt of cos omega t. Now let us calculate the derivative of d of cos omega t. D upon dt of cos omega t. So it will be minus sin omega t into d upon dt of omega t, which in turn will be equal to minus omega sin omega t. The rate of change of magnetic flux will be equal to minus B A omega sin omega t. So if the coil has number of turns equal to capital N, then the rate of change for all the turns will be equal to minus NBA omega into sin omega t. Now this is nothing but our induced EMF E. NBA omega, this is the maximum value of induced EMF. So it can be written as E equal to E naught sin omega t, where E naught is NBA omega. So this occurs when sin omega t, this thing, this has a maximum value, that is plus or minus 1. So when sin omega t is maximum, we will have a maximum induced EMF from the coil. E equal to E naught sin omega t. So E will be maximum when sin omega t is maximum, means plus or minus 1. So it will occur when omega t is 90 degree, 270 degree, and so on. The angle is between B and A. So B vector and A vector, therefore all the orientation of vector B and A are most important. As in the first case, the magnetic field vector and the area vector, both are having a angle of 0 degree between them. So this was our top magnet and this was our lower magnet, and the coil is like this. Our P point and S point are here. So this is our coil. This is the axis. So in this case, the graph of the induced EMF. So here area and magnetic field vector have 0 degree angle. So therefore, as we have studied that induced EMF is NB A omega sine omega t. Now here in this case B and A have 0-degree angle between them. So let us draw the graph of this situation. If here this is the time axis, and let us make, here is the 0 and this is our t by 4, and let this be t by 2, and let this be 3t by 4, and this is our complete cycle t. So as in the first case, the magnetic field and area have 0-degree angle, therefore the induced EMF will be 0 because sine 0 is 0. The orientation of the coil becomes like this. P, Q, R and S. In this case, area vector, they are perpendicular to each other. So area is toward this side. So now sine omega t will give us the value of +1, and we will have a maximum induced EMF as NBA times omega. So if this is our maximum induced EMF, then our induced EMF will be here. So the graph will be like this. And the third case, this position. So P point comes here, this is Q, this is R and S. So now area vector is downwards. So B is upwards, but the area vector is downwards. So they are making 180-degree angle with each other. Therefore, sine 180 is again 0. So sine 180 is 0. So we will have no induced EMF. So we will be here at this point. So the graph will be like this. Now coming to position, the orientation of the coil again becomes like this. P point comes downwards, Q, R and S. Area vector is towards left side, and the magnetic field is perpendicular to the area vector. So if both are perpendicular, we will have sine omega t as its maximum value, but in opposite direction. So here the current changes its direction. So therefore, our graph reaches at the lower position, giving the maximum induced EMF in opposite direction. So fourth orientation is again area becomes again parallel to the magnetic field. So here induced EMF again reaches to its initial position, as if the coil rotates further, now the PQ arm is going upwards. So from here onwards, the current changes direction again and will be maximum value at next position. So in this way we will get an alternating EMF which changes direction at Ty2 and T. So at this point we will get the maximum value as E naught, and at this point we will again have the maximum value which is minus E naught, because here at this point we have sine 270 degree. So at 270 degree sine theta will give us minus 1 value. Now the direction of the current, or you can say the induced EMF, changes periodically. So it changes periodically. The periodic change of this EMF makes it alternating. In commercial generators, the mechanical energy required for rotation of the armature is provided by the water falling from a height. There are dams constructed, and here are the turbines. When water falls, the turbines tend to rotate. They are connected to the generator. Generator is further connected to the grid, where electrical energy is further transferred using transformers to our households. So these types of generators are called hydroelectric generators. I hope that everything concerned with AC generator now clear to you.